Hey guys, it is update time. So these are the Phalaenopsis that I received from Ken over at Orchid Supply Store in November of 2023. And you know, Troy, when you made the comment that you thought ICPU stood for Intensive Care Phalaenopsis Unit, totally got it. I kind of chuckled to myself because most of the ICPUs that I do have from Ken are phals. So that makes perfect sense. But it does stand for Intensive Care Plant Unit. But for today, it will stand for Phalaenopsis Unit because we're going to talk about the Phalaenopsis Unit today. Those that we received back in November of 2023. 80% of them are doing great. 20%, not so much. Could be 70-30. Either way it goes. More winners than losers. Let's just start with one of the big girls here. Let's move this pot here. This is a no ID, but look at her blooms. I just love these blooms. They are so pretty. I love that splash. It's like somebody dropped paint onto a white canvas. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. So she's doing fine. She has not lost any leaves yet. I do see that she is starting to senesce this back leaf, but it is an older leaf at the bottom, so not concerned about that. I don't see any new roots or anything growing, and a lot of that is because she is putting a lot of, whoa, before I break that one, a lot of her energy into these spikes. I'll probably enjoy these spikes once this one opens up, probably about for another week or two. Then I'll cut the spike to encourage root growth, vegetative growth, all the good stuff, because here is one of her roots. It's not the healthiest looking. It is keeping her alive. It is supporting the bloom. So that is a success. Let me put her over here so I don't knock her over. And then I thought that Miss Lady here would be open. The last Saturday stroll that we had, I believe it was the 3rd, the 2nd of February, the first one of February. I thought this one would be open, but she is being a stubborn little thing. So this one should be open by this Saturday, which would be the 10th of February. So be sure to check out the Saturday stroll video to catch her gorgeousness. I'm assuming she's going to be gorgeous. I love that rose, almost a dusty rose color there. But she too has kept all of her leaves. She's not lost any leaves. Again, here's some of her roots right in here. They're not the healthiest, but you know what? They're doing their job because she is staying nicely hydrated. She's got 2 spikes, and the spikes that I just showed you, they came with the orchids. I did not grow those in that time frame. They had already started developing when they arrived. And then we have this one here. This one is a named one. I am kind of concerned about this one. This is Phalaenopsis Ming-Sing Golden Lena. I am a little concerned about her because now I do have this big rock right here to kind of help hold her up. She does have this root here. It's not doing much of anything because look at her leaves. Like, they're very leathery and I don't know, they're not hydrating. I'm watering her very sparingly, but I do see she does have quite the root tips right there, so I may put some spag moss over here, create a little bit of humidity and kind of encourage some root growth coming out. So they look like they're activating. So maybe I just need to be a little more patient with this one. But until she completely, she'll be in alloculation. And this is the one that had the cute little bloom on it. And then the spike was still there on Saturday. Recently cut the spike, as you can see right there. And hoping that she does do some vegetative growth. And I don't know if you can see in there or not. The glare might be too much, but there is a big juicy root in there that is a good sign. And nothing yet. And I just cut her a couple of days ago. So it'll probably be a week or two before anything starts going on with her. This one is an empty pot, obviously. So I did use the media that was in here, which was just small, medium bark, which they're all in small, medium bark perlite mixture. For my Vanda that I just recently had to repot after being in her previous orchid top pot for 3 years. So I'll link that video below. And it was, I don't know what happened. She just started losing all of her leaves. So I think she just didn't want to stay. So we let her go. Then we've got Fuller Sunset. So there's the tag. Doing fine. She's got 2 leaves. She did have a spike that I did cut off. And I think all of her roots are inside. Yeah, you can't see any of her roots. But when I do water, which it is watering day, but when I do water, these leaves do fluff up quite a bit. Now this one here, I do have to watch, and I did check it earlier. I do have to watch this one for some reason. It keeps getting mealybugs, but it's not in here. She just gets them randomly on her leaves. So I wipe her down with alcohol or a Q-tip if I just see the 1 or 2. And then I water really well. And then I also take a plain water cloth and then just kind of wipe the leaves again to kind of help hydrate them from the alcohol, because we don't want her to go away. And then we've got Pretty Girl here. Forgot to show you guys this one on Saturday. But it is a no ID, but I believe that this is our soft pink clouds, which I have one, but I call it Andrea now, because it is very, very similar, almost exactly the same. The only difference is where there's that little split in the throat there, the yellow going side to side. The one I have is just a real pale in there. That's not that strong yellow split in there, but look how pretty she is. And can you see the pink in the background? That's why I call it the pink soft clouds. She's just gorgeous. I'll probably enjoy these blooms for this week. Show them again maybe on Saturday Strolling, February 10th. And then I will be cutting the spike again. I just want her to concentrate on new roots because, as you can see, these roots they're not the best. But again, they're doing their job. Let's see. No, I thought I saw a leaf growing and I was just going to cut that spike right now. Back here, we have another one. She does look a little sad. Of all the ones that I did keep, because I believe there were a total of 16 and I kept 12, this is probably the one that looks the saddest, but surprisingly has the most new root growth. Look at all that new root growth in there. Isn't that wonderful? Loving that. And she is senescing this leaf, but again, it is the very bottom leaf. It's an older leaf. Don't care. This right here is where she was dehydrated. And once she did hydrate, I didn't flatten the leaf, so the leaf is kind of curled up under. We're going to let her do her. I've decided that all my phals want to be funky in some way. So we have another funky phal here. And then this one here is working on, so she did do this leaf, but if you really look down in there, can you see it? She has a new leaf coming, and with new leaves, usually we have new roots. And I do see a little nub in here. She'll have a little aerial root there. But I'm going to assume that there are also new roots growing inside the pot. Again, her roots don't look fantabulous, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So don't assume that because your roots look like this, that you have to cut them and that they're bad, or you have to change out media. As long as your orchid hydrates when you water her, those funky looking roots, well, they're doing what they're supposed to be. Funky and doing their job seem to be my two little go-tos today. Again, this one here grew this leaf, is still growing it actually. It's still tender. And again, I'm going to assume that there is new root growth going on in here because I don't see anything on the outside. But here is one of her roots that she did go in with. And the bark that I'm using is Orchiata Bark that you can get from Orchid Supply Store. If you go to orchidsupplystore.com, use coupon code TRISH at checkout. Purchase whatever you like. 1 item, 2 items, 10 items, 100 items, 1,000 items, free shipping in the United States. Now I have 2 over here on the side that I do want to get into because these 2 are the ones I am really concerned about. In last week's Saturday Stroll, we did talk about Phalaenopsis stellenbosch. So I did make her a tag because this tag right here is really hard to read, but it's Stellenbosch. And when I picked her up, this leaf fell off. So I'm going to see if it is even worth babying her, or if it's just a total lost cause. Because she did have this leaf right here broken, that's why she was strapped. Yeah, she's a goner. Aw. You can just look at her. Look, she's a goner. It's not soft, so it's not rot. I think she just didn't have enough strength in her because these are the roots that she went in with, and only 1 or 2 of them were really absorbing and viable. So, well, we can count that another loss. So I'll just toss that over there to the side. And then this last one is a no ID. This is the one that was sitting on the bottom shelf back here that had the little red bloom. Well, I pinched, I don't even know if you can see the spike. There it is. I pinched the bloom off of the top so she would absorb the spike, which she did, and it is now a stick. Okay. She does have new root activity, but see this root right here? I believe it's no longer with us. So I want to get in there and I want to clean up the roots that are inside, because I don't want this fresh media to spoil by leaving rotten roots in there. So let's see what we've got in here. And I don't have to squeeze the edges or anything because there's nothing to squeeze. So there we go. Yep, I was right. So even though that root was nice and green, as you see, that was probably just some algae built up on there, because if I take it, I can just pull it right on off. Look at there. Yep, it is a goner. So I've got my fiskars. First, we're going to cut that spike off, which leaves her basically with those 2 roots to get her going. Hopefully, she decides to kick it into high gear. I'm going to get a seedling size pot. I'm not going to put it back in here. I'm going to get the little 2-3 inch size pot. And again, it's just going to go back into the bark. And this one was watered because it was sitting in a different spot than these other guys. But I'm just going to, again, just use the regular bark. But I'm going to try my trick that I do with my cattleyas that won't grow roots. Is I'll do the bark, and then right before the top layer, I'll put a little bit of moss right up underneath here to encourage these roots to kind of come down into the humidity, and then fill up with bark on the top there. And while we're here, let me just pull off all of this old leaf sheathing. So we've got 2 leaves left on this one. Such a shame. I really wanted to see the bloom, but I knew if I did, this orchid would have definitely been in the bin category. Let me see if I can get that stem off just a wee bit closer. There we are, without damaging anything else. This way, get all of that off of there. Because what'll happen is, I don't, excuse me, I don't like leaving the bottom of the leaf on the fowl. I try to get off as much as I can. Now sometimes there's like a little thin layer, but I try to get as much off because I don't want it to try to get through that hard woodiness that it becomes. And let's cut this off before I forget. And I'm thinking I should probably cut the stem because she's pretty high. She's pretty high. So we'll cut the stem to about right here, below this older root that she has still. And see, oh yeah, nice and woody stem. So don't have to worry about cinnamoning that off. Look at that, nice and woody in there. Beautiful. So like I said, I'll just get a little small, let's see, do I have one nearby? I don't, but just a little small seedling plastic pot, and just stick her in there and hope for the best. So that is the update on these beauties. Don't forget to check out the Saturday stroll video for our Dusty Rose over there. Well, I can't call her Dusty Rose because I have one of the other fowls, the model fowls, that's called Dusty Rose. So name that fowl.